Okay, welcome to another episode of Coffee with Samso. This morning I've got Miguel and Bryan here from Area 5, or Australian MiniFootball Federation. I met them last week over a lunch, and they mentioned to me what they're trying to do, and I thought that'll be a really interesting concept for Coffee with Samso. So maybe I've actually haven't spoken to you guys, so I thought this concept would work. Maybe you guys could slowly introduce yourself and then come back and then just give us a brief of what you guys want to do. Miguel?
Thanks, Noel. Well, I'm Miguel, President of the Australian MiniFootball Federation and one of the directors of Area 5 Football. We started this project together between Bryan and myself about 7 years ago in the growth of what is the small-sided game of the round ball, as they call it, the football, the real football. So we're pretty proud and pretty happy of what we have achieved during all these years, and we're obviously looking forward for this popular thing we're calling the World Cup now of the six-a-side that we're bringing with 32 nations across the globe. So it's been a very hectic and very full-on work for all these years, but the achievement that we're bringing for the community and getting the community involved in this event, and obviously in this sport that is relatively new in Australia, is getting surpassing our expectations of the interest of the community, and helping all those multicultural people and all the people that probably seeing the sport of the big 11-a-side game having not enough time, bringing it down to a smaller timing for people has commitments with families and people has commitments with work. So instead of spending 2-3 days during the week with all these hours in training and all this sort of stuff that is involved in football, bring it down to a social level and an amateur level. It's just a different scenario for them, and it's just amazing the impact and the reaction of them. So we're pretty happy and pretty proud of what we have achieved here.
Bryan, did you want to have maybe just intro yourself, what you do, and then we'll sort of get to more. Is this similar to futsal that a lot of Asia communities are used to?
Yeah, so it's very similar to futsal, but it's on an outdoor surface, synthetic pitches, and so it's not governed by FIFA, so it's governed by another organisation called the World MiniFootball Federation. That's who we report to at the Australian MiniFootball Federation. So they're like the FIFA of the small game, so that's anything other than 11-a-side, beach or futsal. So futsal's predominantly on a smaller pitch. We're 6v6, they're 5v5, but the World Cup is 6v6, so it's fairly similar in that respect. It's a different type of ball. It's a outdoor size 5, but at this World Cup they're making a specific 4.5 ball that's going to go around the world as a mini football. So yeah,
that's I guess we Asia's mad about football, and so it's the South Americans, and in some aspects the rest of the world except Australia, really. But we've seen a change in the uptake of football, soccer, that Australians used to call it. I remember when I came here in 1981, we played football everywhere, and then I'll say, let's play football, and they'll go, they're thinking footy or not so much rugby and rugby league. But so in the progress that what you guys want to do, when we talked last week, you mentioned that you wanted to bring them in and looking for sort of sponsors. Can you maybe one of you sort of elaborate on how it would work? Like, have you got a ground, a place? How does it work?
Yeah, so the World Cup we're bringing to Perth this October. We've got the venue down in Langley Park, so that's down on the foreshore of Perth, just at the base of the CBD. We're going to erect a 4,000 seat stadium through AKA Events, so that's their specialty. They do event hire and stadium hire like we're looking for, and then we're going to construct a fully sized mini football field, which is a 48 by 28 size synthetic pitch. From that, it'll be fully lit There'll be a compound on the outside, and 32 nations will come to compete in 8 groups of 4, similar to like a FIFA World Cup, and they'll play 3 round matches, and they've qualified through their federations. So the activation areas on the outside, we're going to see people like the tech ball. It's like a ping pong table, but it's got concave, and you play foot tennis on there. We've got the cartel bar that's going to be down there. So we're trying to create an atmosphere, a carnival atmosphere down at the Langley Park between the 1st and the 11th of October.
It's interesting you mentioned cartel bar. Miguel and I were just talking about the stuff in Mexico. I said, oh, what is this? So I thought, oh, that's the first thing I picked up, cartel bar. Oh, yeah, that's going to be interesting. In terms of like timing, your timeline, obviously you're looking for sponsors. Where are we at with this kind of that part of this scenario?
Yeah, well, look, we're pretty close to the event. We're about maybe 88 days close to get to the event, and obviously the timing is very important at the moment. We want to get as many sponsors as possible, because this 88 days will go quick. In a blink of an eye, the stadium is going to be set up. So, I want to invite all the people out there that is interested in, showing their brand around the world, nationally, in Australia, obviously, and it's a great opportunity because it's going to stream over 120 countries, and it's all live streaming, and also a lot of the countries are using their local TV channels, so it's very, very big exposure. Tunisia had 800 million in the last World Cup, and it was a magnificent event, and we only had 24 nations participating in the last World Cup. So now having 32 is obviously gonna reach a different number, so we're expecting more than that, and we're pretty happy about that. And having Asian teams coming to Perth to participate, like Japan, Thailand and Singapore, is just gonna be amazing for the Asian community, and not only the Asian community, but we have all the Africans, and we have all the South Americans, and we have all the Europeans, and it's just gonna be basically a festival and a party of football. And having activations through the city as well, like in this new area called the Jagan Square in the city, and having the hub there, and inviting the people come down and get important people and captains to come and take pictures with their fans, and have someone like Vladimir Klitschko to come, and the 3-time champion boxer from the Ukraine. Vitaly Klitschko. Sorry about that. Yeah, so him, and we're speaking to Danny Green, and Danny Green, would love to be part of the activation and be with Mr. Klitschko, obviously, and be there with the fans and with the community, and just it's all about the community, this event. So we're pretty excited, bringing something like this.
Guys, just on that last point there, I just want to sort of maybe create a clarification for people. This event is a happening thing. It's already happened before previously. And all that kind of exposure is fantastic for a brand. Coffee with Samso would love to be sitting there with this kind of event, but maybe you want to sort of give people sort of an understanding of where it's at, and what's already in place, and potentially where this obviously this event is going to happen. I guess people want to know. Maybe you can sort of elaborate on that.
Yeah, absolutely. The event's on 100%. We've got some federal funding. Tourism WA are just assessing at the final stages there, and it looks like they're going to jump on board with us, and then it will cascade from there. The City of Perth will also assist. We've got some stuff in play with Nike International, the 3 Pound Group, Lion Group. So there's a lot of good opportunities there for them, to spread their brand globally. And there's a few more spots to fill. We want to give people the opportunities to put their brands forward, and we can broadcast it both here nationally and internationally to get best reach for you guys. There's 64 games in total, and you've got LED screens around the fields. It's like Miguel said, it's going to go to over 800 million people plus. So it's a really good opportunity for brands locally to get noticed internationally, or locally.
I think in terms of a branding exercise, I mean, from my point of view, it's fantastic. I mean, it might give an opportunity for some of these public listed companies who manufacture this kind of products or in that space, like you mentioned, Lion Nathan and all these kind of people, to actually jump on board. I mean, we're not talking about big bucks here, but exposure's huge, and in today's social media, I mean, there are people now playing games online and they have a competition and they're making millions, I sort of think maybe my son should have gone down that road instead of going to university, and I'm paying for it, So, but guys, thank you. I mean, do you guys have anything to add to before we close up?
Yeah, we're just here. We're just obviously here with you, Noel, and we want to invite the business community and the community in its own right to look out for the event. If you'd like to get your business promoted globally, this is a great opportunity. Over 800 million people plus. It's going to far exceed our expectations and forecasts that we feel. So yeah, jump on board, get part of the community, and let's go.
I'll have all the details on the posting that I do, and obviously in the YouTube channel itself. There will be an email for myself and Bryan and Miguel anyway, but you guys can contact me and I'll put you guys on to them. Thanks guys, thanks for giving me your time, and maybe this sounds like a really, really interesting concept. Let's hope it goes well. All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.